name is Chef Chip Flanagan. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Does anybody know anything about jambalaya? That's the name of the dish. Part of what this is to show you there is a cuisine where I'm from, and it's not McDonald's. 1 part bell pepper, 1 part celery, 2 parts onion. And we're just going to do small dice.
With pepper also?
Yeah, red also. Just like that. Restaurant and charging people for it, I would take the tomatoes and I would peel them, I would seed them, I'd make sure all my dice cuts were exactly the same. Maybe I would use whole shrimp in the shell with the head on. So let's get the pot on. We can start here. Let me chop this up. And this is chorizo. This looks beautiful. We use a long grain white rice. We don't use the paella rice or arborio rice. Rice is a big industry in South Louisiana. So most of the indigenous dishes we cook either have rice in it or rice on the side. Yeah, you can tie all that together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the onions in 2 different times.
Okay.
This right here, I want to get these onions brown, caramelized, so they're sweeter. And then we'll put some more onions in later, and they'll just saute a little. So you're going to have a sweet flavor, hopefully, at the end of the dish, but not too much, because we don't want it to taste like onion soup or anything.
Okay.
And I think jambalaya, it's from 2 African words.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge African culture in South Louisiana. We're a port, so all the ships used to come up to New Orleans, and we would ship things to the rest of the country, especially when the country was young, and there was nothing much out west. People would come, from all the Caribbean islands, Mexico, South America, Central America. Everything was come through the port. But like the guys would be in the backyard cooking this, and they would be drinking all day. So one of them would just take a beer. And,
Löscht das mit dem Bier? Kann man auch was anderes auflöschen? Oder ist das
Ja.
nur mit Bier? Oder kann er auch was
Oder
anderes?
Wein.
Mit Brühe kann er auch was machen.
Ja.
so we're gonna let that boil and reduce,
Okay.
because we wanna make sure our beer is cooked.
Okay.
You don't want to eat raw beer or raw alcohol in your food, so you want to make sure you cook it. So that's usually when you deglaze, you get your pan really hot, and then pour your booze in, and so it cooks it quickly. So that's what we want right there, and we'll let that reduce a little. So if I had, raw shrimp, I would put them in now, and I just lay them on the top. Just let them steam while I'm finishing the dish.
Nigeria.
Because overcooked seafood, no good.
Jetzt, da ich den Abschluss geschafft habe, werde ich mich bewerben und die nächsten 6 bis 12 Monate in verschiedenen Küchen arbeiten, um noch mehr Erfahrung zu sammeln. Ich bin jetzt Jungkoch, nennt sich das. Das heißt, man geht nochmal wie auf so eine Wanderschaft, auf eine Reise, 1 bis 2 Jahre in verschiedenen Küchen, um dann den Gesellenstatus zu bekommen, sage ich mal. Das ist jetzt das Ziel, das ist jetzt mein Plan für die nächsten 2 Jahre.
Für die Azubis hoffe ich, war das interessant, weil kein Mensch versteht irgendwas von amerikanischer Küche. Und wie die auch erklärt hat, das ist eine die echte amerikanische Küchen. Weil wenn man an uns denkt, man denkt an Hamburger und Hotdogs und Tacos. Und da ist extrem viel mehr, besonders aus dieser Bucht unten New Orleans und sogar in erster Linie Texas, Louisiana in dieser Ecke. Da ist es eine ursprüngliche amerikanische Küche.